Good morning, friends. We are finally here. Week one of the college football season. I mean, we had that weekend last weekend with a few games. We'll go over a few of those because there were some good games. But full slate. Week one. Man, I've been waiting for this for months now. Thank God it's almost here. Just a few more days. We're going to be doing week one preview. We'll go over a few things that happened last weekend. Got quite a few news items here to get to also. So before we start, hit that subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey, Dallas Baptist, they will join the Pac-12 in 2027 for baseball. So they're going to take their baseball program, join the Pac-12. They've had a pretty good baseball program the last several years, so I don't see why not. SEC, they announced they are going to a 9-game schedule in 2026. A lot of people saying this is to push their playoff agenda where they have a bunch of teams and they get so many, like the Big Ten wants so many of their teams in, but I don't know. That remains to be seen. We'll see what's going to happen. Arkansas, they are allowing fans to rush the field after big wins, but only after the first 3 minutes to avoid fines. I don't know how you're going to stop that. I don't know how you're going to stop thousands of people coming over the wall. Y'all mean you're going to put people up there, wait 3 minutes. No. Yeah, I don't think that's going to work. So if they get a big win, we'll see what happens. But I just don't see how you can stop all them people, tell them, oh, hold up for 3 minutes. So, good idea, but I don't know. Northwestern, remember Pat Fitzgerald was the football coach there? Got let go because all that hazing crap. Him and Pat Fitzgerald and Northwestern have reached a settlement in his wrongful termination lawsuit against the university. No word on the dollar amount. He was originally suing Northwestern for $130 million. I'm sure he got a pretty good chunk of that, but maybe one day we'll find out. Kansas State. We saw that game. Lost to Iowa State the first game of the year. Quarterback Avery Johnson's family, evidently afterwards, got in a brawl. I've tried to find the video. I found the video, but it wasn't really showing what I wanted to see. I don't know if they got in a brawl with each other, with fans, or what. But anyway, his family totally embarrassed him. They've since apologized. I don't know, maybe if I'm him, I'm saying don't come to any more games. Or if you're going to come to games, don't drink. UC Davis and Mercer game, anybody see that? They had an hour-and-a-half long weather delay, so the NCAA said it was a no contest. Canceled it. Which is, I don't know, maybe they did that because FCS, because we've seen how many FBS teams or, games that we've seen, they got delayed by weather, and 4 hours later they pick it back up. So I don't know what went on to the decision there. And right before the start of the season, Virginia Tech linebacker Caleb Woodson gets arrested for a DWI last Saturday night. His status for this weekend has not yet been determined. So we don't know. Maybe we'll see him on the field. Maybe not. They play, South Carolina on Sunday. If I remember right, we'll go over that here in a minute. So some things happened this past weekend. Matt Campbell, gets his 100th win. They beat Kansas State. That game started off kind of slow and sloppy, but then it started getting better as the second half rolled on. The second half was a lot better. I mean, that first half, actually, I was kind of bored watching it. I was like, man, this sucks. And, field was all wet. It's kind of sloppy. But Iowa State pulls it out 24-21. Gets their first win of the season. Kansas State loses their first game of the season. I knew UNLV. I knew they were going to have trouble with Idaho State. Idaho State's been a playoff team lately. Really good. Give it to them, man. They gave UNLV a run for their money. Dan Mullen does get his first win, though. But they only won by 7 points. I knew that was going to be a tough game, and sure enough, it was. Hawaii, man, look at Hawaii. Beat Stanford 23-20. That was a great game. I watched that one. Stanford kind of looked to control that game at first, but Hawaii, man, they kept pounding, kept capitalizing on Stanford's mistakes, ended up winning that one. Big part they win it. Their kicker from Japan, Kensai Matsuwa, I think that's how you say his last name, Matsuwa. 11 points for him. Field goals and extra points, so that'll help him win. One thing I noticed during this game, Andrew Luck, general manager of Stanford, he's up in the coaching booth. That camera was on him, I swear, 24/7. And the announcers, man, they were acting like Andrew Luck is the coach. What Andrew Luck wants to do here, that's not what Andrew Luck wanted. And I'm like, dude, your coach is on the field. Frank Reich is on the field. Why are y'all concentrating so much on Andrew Luck? Just one of those things I noticed during the game. I was like, dude, shut up. Anyway, hey, I also watched a great FCS game. Nichols, man, beat number 4 Incarnate Word 20-6. Incarnate Word actually beat Nichols last year, 55-10. So I guess Nichols had revenge on their mind. A lot of mistakes in Incarnate Word. You can tell they're missing Zach Calzada. Richard Torres, he was all right. 175 passing yards, no touchdowns, but he threw 3 picks and he was sacked 3 times. Plus, he had negative 45 rushing yards on the day. Nichols, Deuce Hogan, 221 passing yards and a touchdown. We'll go over the schedule here in a minute, but I think Nichols has Troy. Troy's not what Troy used to be. Boy, if Nichols could get that win, talk about beating the number 4 FCS team and beating an FBS team next week, man, that could really be something. And speaking of which, Hawaii, that we just talked about, they go and play Arizona, which we all know Arizona is not the Arizona we've seen the last few years. So anyway, all right. So let's get to it. Thursday, man, got a crap load of games. These are just some of the interesting games. This isn't every game. Just some of the ones that stand out. Thursday, 3:30 p.m., you can watch college football at work. The start of the season, number 25, Boise State at South Florida. 5 p.m. on Big Ten Network, a good MAC Ohio team goes and plays a so-so Rutgers team. This could be the day of the MAC. All right, hang on. Ohio plays Rutgers. Ohio's a great team. Rutgers ain't so good. Keep that in mind for a minute. 6 p.m. on ESPN+. Jacksonville State versus Central Florida. Scott Frost is back. Jacksonville State, still a good team, even though Rich Rod left and went to West Virginia. 6 p.m. on ESPN+. Also, rivalry game, Delaware and Delaware State. 6 p.m. on ACC Network, Eastern Carolina versus North Carolina State. 6:30 on ESPN+. Tennessee Martin goes to Stillwater, plays Oklahoma State. Surely Oklahoma State has got to be better than they were last year. Surely they're not going to let Tennessee Martin come in there and beat them in Boone Pickens Stadium. 7 p.m., Fox Sports 1, Buffalo at Minnesota. Buffalo, they were 9-4 last year. They're still a good team. And then 8 p.m. on Big Ten Network, Miami of Ohio at Wisconsin. Miami of Ohio, great team, 9-5 last year. Wisconsin didn't make a bowl. So that is 3 chances right there the MAC has to make a statement right there on Thursday night. Not saying it's going to happen, but they've got a great chance. They're playing teams that kind of middle of the road there. So we'll see what happens there between the MAC and the Big Ten. All right, so Friday, 5 p.m., CBS Sports, Tarleton State at Army. Tarleton State whooped Portland State last Saturday. They are moving to FBS here in the next year or two, so they're trying to make a statement. But they got to play that Army team who's been pretty good the last couple of years. 6 p.m. on FS1, Western Michigan at Michigan State. Seems like Western Michigan is always playing the Michigan teams there the first couple of weeks. 6:30 on Peacock, Western Illinois goes to Champaign, plays number 12 Illinois. 7 p.m. on Fox, a big one. Everybody's talking about this one. Auburn at Baylor. Big one for both. Baylor is supposed to be good. Auburn, well, if they lose this game, I think Hugh Freeze, his seat is not only hot, but it's burning his ass and he cannot sit down. So, see what happens there. 7 p.m. on ESPN. It is a battle of the 1990 split national champions to see who was the better team. Just kidding. That was like almost 40 years ago. But Georgia Tech at Colorado. That might be a pretty good game to watch. Georgia Tech's gotten better. Colorado lost a lot of people. And, they still talk about who's the better team in that 1990 season. All right, then 8:30 CBS Sports Network. UNLV versus Sam Houston. UNLV skated by Idaho State last week. Sam Houston, they looked okay against Western Kentucky. They were kind of beat down. Then they started making a comeback. Western Kentucky said, no, stay back. And Western Kentucky ended up winning that game. So that one could be pretty interesting. Say 8:30, so not really a late night game, but something to get you later in the Friday night for college football. All right, so Saturday, moving to Saturday, 11 a.m. ESPN, Mississippi State versus Southern Miss. Southern Miss has Marshall's head coach now. Came over from Marshall after Marshall pissed him off. They won the conference championship last year. 11 a.m. on ABC, Syracuse versus number 24 Tennessee. We'll see the Vols' new quarterback. Syracuse has gotten better over the last couple of years. We've seen that. 11 a.m. Fox, the one everybody's talking about. Number 1 Texas versus number 3 Ohio State. We all know about Archie Manning for Texas. How's this new quarterback for Ohio State going to do? 11 a.m. ESPNU. This one, keep an eye on this one, or I will. Northwestern, they travel to New Orleans to play Tulane in the heat and humidity. They're probably, I know it gets warm, maybe even hot up there in Chicago, but I don't think they have the humidity up there like they do down south here, especially around that New Orleans area. 11:45 SEC Network. Good Toledo team goes and plays Kentucky. Kentucky got quarterback Zach Calzada we've been talking about, got him from Incarnate Word. If he's got some receivers, Kentucky could be a pretty good team this year. 2:30 on ESPN. Marshall versus number 5 Georgia. Marshall, like we talked about, won their conference championship last year, lost their head coach. And we've seen how Georgia goes in these first couple games of the year. Sometimes they kick somebody's butt totally. Who's butt they kicked? Was that Clemson last year, the year before? And then, some of these early games, they just don't try very hard, it seems like. So we'll see what happens. 2:30 on CBS. Nevada traveling to Pennsylvania to play Penn State. Number 2 Penn State. Nevada just hasn't been all that good since Chris Alt left years ago. 2:30 on Fox. An FCS team, playoff team, South Dakota, going to Ames to play number 22 Iowa State, coming off that high, beating Kansas State over there in Ireland. But South Dakota, Coyotes, they are a pretty damn good FCS team, went to the playoffs. And then this one, I got to see this one. 2:30 on ABC, number 8 Alabama versus Florida State, all because I want to see how Alabama performs against the FSU quarterback. What's his name? Castellanos or Castellanos or something. Anyway, he's been talking crap since spring football about Alabama defense. I want to see how Alabama's defense responds to him. I want to see if they put him on the ground every other play. That's why I want to watch this game. See how that defense responds. Could be pretty damn interesting. 3 p.m. Big Ten Network. FCS team, playoff team from last year, Montana State, going to number 7 Oregon. I don't think Montana State's going to win that game, but they could give Oregon a little more of a fit than they're expecting. 5 p.m. ACC Network. Coastal Carolina goes to Virginia. 6 p.m. on ESPN+. Nichols, we talked about him, beat number 4, FCS ranked number 4, Incarnate Word, going to play Troy now, and Troy hasn't been the same. Troy was 4-8 last year. Remember when Troy used to be pretty damn good, and they were always winning the South Belt Conference or Sun Belt Conference? Man, they're not as good as they used to be, and Nichols coming in off that high. Nichols is a good team. They might be able to get themselves an FBS win. 6 p.m. on ESPN. UTSA goes to number 19. What am I kidding? Number 9, Texas A&M. Number 19, Texas A&M. This is the deal that I've noticed with being an A&M fan. A lot of these early games they play, these teams are lesser than them. I don't know if there's just no urgency. There's no, hey, watch this. It's like a 3-point game at halftime, 7-point game at halftime. They don't come out and dominate like they should on some of these teams. And UTSA isn't a bad team. They've had some good teams these last few years. So, Aggies, you need to get on the ball and quit screwing around, especially when these guys come in on Saturday night. We'll see. To me, this sets the tone for the Aggie season. If they're barely beating them, ho-hum at halftime, I can see another 8-9 win season. Really, that's just my opinion. Being an Aggie fan for as long as I have, over 40 years, that's just what I see. All right, so 6 p.m. on ESPN+. Southeast Missouri State, who was 9-3 last year, going to play Arkansas State, who was 8-5. That could be a pretty good game. 6:30 on NBC. New Mexico should have had a lot more wins than they did last year, but they just couldn't finish games. Let's see if they learn how to finish them, because they got to go play number 14, Michigan. New Mexico, though, they got the new head coach from Hawaii, Jason Ick. He took them to the playoffs last year, and they're a pretty damn good team. 6:30 on ESPN+. Southeast Louisiana versus Louisiana Tech. Put that down because it's an interstate battle. Southeast Louisiana, FCS team, a lot better than Louisiana Tech was last year. 6:30 on ABC. Can number 9 LSU win their first game, which they haven't done in years? They go to Clemson, play number 4 Clemson. Will remain to be seen. Some trash talking back and forth about who's got the real Death Valley. I don't know if that'll play a part in that game. I'm sure it will. All right, so we got some good late night college football Saturday. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 worth checking out. Probably got some more that I just didn't write down. But 9 p.m. on the CW, Idaho versus Washington State. Idaho, the FCS playoff team last year. We talked about they lost their coach. Went to New Mexico, but still, they got good players on that team. Washington State, I don't know, man. We'll see. Also, 9 p.m. ESPN Plus, Northern Arizona versus number 11 Arizona State. Northern Arizona was 8-5 last year. Arizona State's got a lot of good players coming back. Don't have Scatterboo anymore, so who knows? Maybe Northern Arizona can give them some fits. 9:30 on ESPN, Cal versus Oregon. Good old Pac-8. Pac-10, Pac-12 showdown. One wants to beat up on the other one so bad just to have bragging rights. 9:30 on TNT. Hawaii. We talked about them. Big win over Stanford last Saturday. Now go and play Arizona. Arizona's just not Arizona anymore since what's-his-name left and went up to Washington. Hawaii, could they start the season 2-0? We'll see. 10 p.m. on Big Ten Network, Colorado State goes up to Seattle to play Washington. 10 p.m. on Fox, Utah goes over and plays UCLA. Quite a few late night games for us to take college football on this first Saturday, late into the, maybe in this case, early Sunday morning. All right, so Sunday, man, you got some good games on Sunday too. Usually you have some ho-hum games. 2 p.m. on ESPN, Virginia Tech versus number 13 South Carolina. And then 6:30 on ABC, it's the old Catholics versus Convicts. Number 6 Notre Dame versus number 10 Miami. That one should be a pretty good game too. I wish they were playing in South Bend though. This is going to sound kind of dumb. City of Miami's got the dumbest looking football stadium. They really do. I mean, it's got no character to it. Doesn't stick out like the Orange Bowl did or other stadiums. It's just like a coffee table, like a box with a top on it. Man, I don't know who redesigned that stadium, but that is one of the dumbest looking stadiums. Right next to these new ones. Some of these new ones are stupid too, but that's the reason I wish it was in South Bend or some other stadium, because just looking at that stadium, watching the game, you're like, God, what a dumb looking stadium. Anyway, it's Miami's business, so if they're happy with it. And then Monday, 7 p.m. on ESPN, TCU going to Chapel Hill for Bill Belichick's first game as North Carolina head coach. Here's the key. How many camera shots are going to be on his girlfriend during this game? They love celebrity. These networks love showing celebrities at games. She's pretty much a celebrity now. How many times do we have to see Bill Belichick's girlfriend on this game? Keep in mind. Maybe we should keep a count and get a pool going. Maybe we can all throw in money and, whoever wins that pot of money. All right, so also, some big FCS games coming up. I'm into FCS football. I know a lot of people are. 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Stephen F. Austin travels down 59 here in Texas to Houston. Houston's not a team like they used to be. I don't know what's going on there, but interstate rivalry there. 9 p.m. on the Mountain West Network. Stony Brook, who was 8-5 last year, they go out to San Diego to play San Diego State. Saturday, 11 a.m., ESPN Plus. Richmond, who was 11-3 last year, going to play Lehigh, who was 9-4. 11 a.m., ACC Network. Duquesne, who was 8-3 last year, going to play a Pitt team that just hasn't been Pitt. Could be having another FCS, FBS upset there. We'll see. 4:30 on ESPN Plus on Saturday. New Hampshire, who was 8-5 last year, goes and plays North Carolina Central, who was 8-3 last year. That one could be pretty good too. 5 p.m. on the SEC Network. Illinois State, who was 10-4 last year, going to play a number 18 Oklahoma, who we're wondering if they are improved and a lot better team than they have been the last couple of years. Illinois State, man, you never know. They might go down there and get themselves an FBS upset. And then 7 p.m. on the SWAC TV, Prairie View A&M versus Texas Southern. That's a good battle. Prairie View will be coming down 290 here into Houston to play Texas Southern, so that could be a pretty good one too. That is it, man. I mean, we got what, a little more than 24 hours in the season. I mean, the season started last week, but everybody's going to be playing this weekend. A little more than 24 hours before that happens. Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Labor Day weekend, got games all that time. And I'm wondering, I haven't looked at the schedule yet, but I'm that following weekend, always knows there's like no Thursday college football. I don't know why college football bows down to the NFL. Screw them, man. Let them have their kickoff on Thursday night. Put some college games on that Thursday night. But like I said, I haven't looked at the schedule yet, so I don't know. Maybe college football does have some games a week from tomorrow. But anyway, we'll see. Hey, Labor Day weekend. Have fun. Man, throw some stuff on the grill. Have some adult drinks while you're watching college football. But be safe. Have fun. We will see you back probably next Tuesday or Wednesday to go over some things that are going to happen this weekend and to preview the following weekend, week 2. Anyway, stay safe. Have fun. We'll see you next time.